right, Peyton, thank you. Earlier on the show, Chef Kev showed us a recipe for monkey bread. We have that recipe on wwltv.com/food. Now he has another dish for us. This time it's broccoli cheddar soup.
And now let's work on our soup. Now, I have a little butter melting in our pot. Let me bring all the goodies over. So into that butter, let's go with some onions. Okay? So this is going to be a broccoli and cheddar soup. Okay? So we get that broccoli going, those onions going in there, and of course, I'm going to season it with a little bit of my Creole seasoning. And because this is a soup, we don't have to cook these onions down to where they're totally translucent, because they're going to have time to cook in our soup. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going in with a little more butter, and I have some garlic that I'm going to get in, because we're going to make just a little bit of a roux, and that roux is just going to be a blonde roux where it'll help tighten up our soup. So you see, as soon as our butter melts, we're going to go ahead and get our flour in. Now, I'm using chicken stock and a little half and half, okay? You can use milk, you can use heavy cream, you can use whatever you like. I'm also going to put in some carrots and our broccoli, okay? So you see, our butter has just about totally melted. Let's get in the flour. And like I said, this is going to be just like a really light roux. We don't want it to change colors because it's going to help thicken our soup. So now let's go ahead and start putting in a little stock and a little bit of our half and half. Now I'm going to add this a little at a time, just because I don't want that flour to get lumpy. I want it to smooth out. Okay. And some more seasoning, what I have here, I have paprika, granulated garlic, salt, white pepper, and a little mustard. Now, a lot of times I would use dry mustard, but I didn't have any dry mustard, so I used a little bit of Creole mustard. So you can see how this is going to thicken really nice, just to give our soup some body. We can go ahead, get some more in. Let's get in our carrots, our broccoli. Once this heats up a little bit, I'm going to put the rest of our cream and stock in, and we're going to let this cook for about 15 minutes so our vegetables get nice and tender. Now that our vegetables are nice and tender, here's the option. You could take an immersion blender and blend this and puree it, but I like to leave it chunky, okay? Now I'm going to take our cheddar cheese, put a little cheddar cheese in at a time, and stir this in to melt it and work all of our cheddar cheese in, then it'll be ready to serve. Now that the cheese is melted, a little fresh cracked black pepper. Give that a stir. And now let's go ahead and ladle some in our bowl. Tell you what, I like that the weather's getting nice and cool, because this is such a wonderful soup. Not just for Thanksgiving, but on a nice chilly evening. A little bit of cheddar cheese right on the top. And there we have our wonderful broccoli cheddar soup that you all can make for Thanksgiving. For WWOTV, I'm Chef Kevin Belton. Thank you for cooking with me today.